Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com, and welcome back to another Eco Vegan Gal Uncensored. This video is all about handling situations when you feel like someone may have taken an idea from you, taken advantage of you, not acknowledged you for something that you've given. This is something that I feel like comes up a lot when you're in a business, if you're around other people doing similar things, and if you're really involved with things online, social media. I'll start with, as always, where the inspiration for this video came from in my personal life, and then kind of reflect on it, and then of course ask for your input, because it's always so fun to hear from you. And well, not just fun, but it's always very helpful to hear from you and to start those conversations and inspire you to think about how you would handle it, or how you have handled it, or how you will handle it when it comes up in the future. So what inspired this specific video was discovering that somebody, a friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, someone that's been in the business world with me, someone who I met through Eco Vegan Gal, this person and I collaborated on a project together, a video in which I did a recipe for a food product. And the recipe food product turned out so well. It was really delicious. It was exciting. It was something kind of new. I adapted it from another recipe, changed up the ingredients enough so that it was kind of an original idea. I don't even know if anyone has done it before. And he decided to turn into a product. And at the time I thought, really sweet, good for him, good to go and be an entrepreneur, of course. I'm very supportive of that. But it recently came to my attention that he had used the exact same recipe that I had used in this video, and then he took the video down so that nobody could see this video of showing how to make the product. And I thought, this is strange. Why would he take a video down that was all about me making a recipe that I adapted, and then make a product and then want to hide something that I had? It just seemed really strange, and yet there's no acknowledgement of me whatsoever in this product line. And it's really forcing me to reflect on this and reflect how I feel about it and why I feel the way that I feel. And in conversations with other people, they're also finding it kind of odd. And I guess a lot's coming up for me. This has also come up in different ways, you know, as a content creator, as someone that's constantly making videos and being very creative and finding new ways to share information on social media. There's a lot of times where you'll see people that are in your field doing very similar things, and if it seems to come after you did it, you may think to yourself, did they get this idea from me? Are they copying me? Are they using me? Are they following everything that I do and then using it to their own benefit? I've thought these things a lot, and it's a really unpleasant thought. I don't like these feelings because it feels kind of egotistic, like I came up with it first and this is my idea. Why are they taking it? You know, and almost not giving credit to someone else. The truth is that you really never know where an idea comes from, and there really aren't any original ideas. They're just different variations on ideas. So in most cases, I think it's really no big deal, especially if someone is doing things differently. If you're doing a twist on something, that's how I always operate. I get ideas from people all over the place. I mean, that's how I learn. That's how I'm self-taught, is I see what other people are doing, I get inspired by it, and I make it my own. And to me, that's the key, is making it your own. If somebody's taking an idea and putting a twist on it, whatever it may be, if it's an image, you're adding your own colors, you're changing it up, you're adding it to different things, you're making it so that you can barely tell that it was based on something original, right? Or something before it. I think that's great, but what's uncomfortable is when someone takes your exact idea and does it exactly the same way, calls it their own, and doesn't give any credibility to the person that inspired them. I feel like in that case, a lot of times it's fine, like recipes, for example. Come on, if you look through enough cookbooks, online websites, you're going to find almost the exact same recipe from here to here, but a lot of times I feel like it should always say where it came from, where it originated from, and a lot of recipes do give credit to this, as they should. You know, there's a lot of issues now when you're using a picture. If you use somebody's photograph in your blog post on your social media accounts online, something that I've learned over time is to always give credit back. And I feel like that's the important thing. I often find it's important even if you're just inspired by someone, why not give them credit? Why not say, hey, I'm doing this new thing and so inspired me. Thanks so much. I feel like I've been doing that practice myself, and I try as much as possible to remember to do that, because it's just kind of that good karma. And it's very uncomfortable though when you're on the other side of that and people are taking something from that you did, that they learned from you, and not giving any credit for it. It's an uncomfortable thing. And sure, sometimes it's that discomfort may come from like an egotistic point of view, but it also comes down to fairness and being and understanding that's just really how our society is kind of set up to work, I suppose. We're supposed to, in business situations especially, give credit and not take from others, not cheat, right? That's another big hot topic for me, is, are people cheating? Are they taking advantage? Are they getting ahead artificially? To me, it's just, you know, we're supposed to be here in a collaborative effort. We're supposed to be a community, especially in the vegan world, the health world, the environmental world. Those are all so tied into community and compassion, doing things for each other, with each other, because of each other. And we should always keep in mind, it's about hand in hand. It's not me versus you. It's not about competition. It's about working together to get somewhere. And with that said, though, there's also this other side of me examining where I'm coming from. I didn't tell this person not to use my recipe. I didn't say that they couldn't. It didn't even occur to me that they would, that the situation would come up. But I was offering this up free to anyone, and it wasn't necessarily this person that made this product. Maybe someone else is already just working on it too because of the video or whatever. Who knows? I mean, this stuff happens all the time. I guess it's just a little bit more awkward when it comes from somebody that you know personally and that you trust. But the other thing is if I know this person personally and I trust them and I care about them, why shouldn't I be excited if they use my recipe, right? And same thing with a photo. Somebody uses my photo or whatever. It's always a feel-good moment. I think for me, what it always comes down to is wanting some sort of acknowledgement and credit. The next thing that I've been trying to examine, though, is why do I even want that acknowledgement and that credit? Do I really need that? I mean, is it in the end of the day just kind of, again, an ego thing, or some sort of residual desire to have attention, if wanting people to pay attention? I mean, this has happened to me before, maybe a year or two ago. A really big Facebook page that I'm sure you all know and visit shared something that I shared on my Facebook page, and they got all these comments and shares and attention, and it almost seemed like they were the ones that shared it first. But I know definitely for sure that they found it on my site because we had a conversation about it, and I kept thinking, why didn't they ever just let people know? And that's why I always make a conscious choice, is if I find something on another Facebook page, I'm going to share directly from there, and or write a little note that says, thanks to so-and-so for sharing this with me, so that I'm also directing acknowledgement and attention and attraction, traffic to whatever site they're coming from. Again, it's just basically being thankful and grateful and appreciative for what they shared and how it might help boost you, right? It's that full circle type of mentality. So I'm kind of examining all of this, and I'm taking away some lessons. One is to do what I am saying, so walk the talk, so making sure that I'm always giving credit where credit is due, and I feel like it's important to always raise that awareness, always keep that in mind. Two, it's to kind of let go of the ego and say, stuff like this happens. Three is to be a little bit more careful about how and what I share, and maybe set some more boundaries with someone and be clear with them. And that's a huge lesson that I'm learning as a businesswoman, entrepreneur, content creator, is to be very clear with people. If I'm going to do something with you, we should be clear about what your what feels comfortable for both of us beyond this relationship. If you're going to get inspired to do something with this, then please let me know. Please let me get involved. Give me that opportunity. Let's be honest, like this type of situation, maybe this person should approach me to see if I wanted to go in on the business too, seeing as the recipe came from me, right? I wouldn't have necessarily wanted that, but it sure would have felt good to have that opportunity. However, maybe this person assumed that I didn't care and that I was giving it to the public and that people could do whatever they wanted with it. Maybe I was putting out that energy. Maybe I just wasn't clear, and I think it's another reminder to be very, very clear and very cautious. And yes, we have friends and we have people that we trust, but that doesn't mean that they might misunderstand something and just do something that kind of steps on your toes a little bit. And that can happen with your best friends. That can happen with your family. That sort of stuff happens all the time. Miscommunications, misunderstandings, and not realizing how the other person might feel, not anticipating it. We're all kind of living in different mindsets here, and I think the most important thing to do is to communicate clearly before and after. So in this specific instance, I'm kind of getting outside of my uncomfortable zone and deciding that I think I should reach out to this person to kind of clear the air, clear the energy, and say, hey, this made me feel a little uncomfortable, and let's talk about this so that we can see what feels best to us and feel good all around. And that's a challenge for me. These type of situations make me feel uncomfortable for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why yet. I'm always like afraid of what's the word I'm looking for? Butting heads or making someone else feel uncomfortable or creating some sort of weird energy. I'm also always a little hesitant to stand my ground, stand up for myself, because I've had many experiences where people have been upset with me when I've stood up for myself and expressed myself. And it's another reminder that you have to speak your piece no matter what the outcome may be. If you speak from your heart, if you give yourself time to reflect on how you want to say it and what you want to say, then their reaction really has nothing to do with you. And it goes the same way. If this person felt like it was okay to produce a product and use my recipe and not acknowledge me, my reaction is not their responsibility because I didn't communicate with it. So that's what's going on with me right now. I'm curious if you've been in this type of situation before and how you've handled it, or how you would handle it if you were in the situation. Forget my specifics. Talk generally. What would you do if someone took any idea or anything that you were talking about or doing together and turned it into something without involving you or acknowledging you? How would you feel? What would you do? And what sort of reflections do you have about your reactions to it? Does it make you upset? Do you say, hey, whatever, let go of it? Or, hey, let's look on the bright side? And I think it's always important to acknowledge our reactions and start to reflect on what that means, where that's coming from, and what we can do to improve as individuals, because every instance like this is a major learning experience. So that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. As always, please subscribe so you can see more videos from Eco Vegan Gal Uncensored, and make sure to visit the main Eco Vegan Gal channel. Follow me on social media. Links are down below if you ever have questions. There's also a link down below if you want to ask me something Eco Vegan Gal related. You can always send me private messages as well. I love hearing from all of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.